It's not just a car, it's your freedom. An open ticket to ride. It's what this country's all about. I feel it deep inside that wherever you want you can go. There's a road that'll take you there. Cause Mr. Good Frank knows it's not just a car, it's a freedom.
Freedom is important. I like that I'm not living under a monarchy, even a ceremonial one. Jokes aside, my question to you is, what does freedom mean in 2022 in North America? Is it the freedom of moving around without being stuck in metal cages emitting noxious gases and carbon dioxide from the processed remains of ancient animals? Is it the freedom of having to build elaborate structures and extravagant subterranean palaces to house these cages? Is it the freedom of not being able to safely and conveniently walk or bike to your nearest store just to get some groceries because of the way the city or the suburbs where you live has been designed? And why is it designed in the way that it is? When it comes to urban planning, the discipline that I'm pursuing, there's one basic thing that I still haven't figured out yet, and I'm about to graduate, hopefully. Essentially, what the heck is a city? When you think of the term city, what comes to your mind? So is that what a city is? Wrong. A city is an inhabited place of greater size, population, or importance than a town or village. Not what you were looking for? Try this. A city is the urban agglomeration or metropolitan area it holds together. Yeah, definitely more meaningful. But wait, maybe that's the point. Maybe a city isn't defined by its cars and its roads and its towering facade of glass and concrete that houses cars instead of people in expensive underground layers that are mostly empty amidst a housing crisis. Sorry, I got a bit excited there. Back to cities. Maybe a city can be whatever we want it to be, as long as we make sure that it's of greater size, population, or importance than a town or village. Thank you, Merriam-Webster. If anything, a city could be defined by how well it's held together by its public transport network. So we can have this, and this, and maybe this too, replaced by this, and this. What do you think? What's that? Where will we park our cars? That's a great point, because our cars, they're an absolute necessity, right? By constructing roads, highways, and parking lots at a ridiculously excessive scale, compared to development for alternative, more sustainable, healthier, and livelier options such as trains, streetcars, and dedicated bike lanes, we've effectively built our dependence on cars with our own hands. There's almost one car for every single Canadian today. You could roughly say the same for the US. Both the US and Canada's transportation sectors emitted 5 times more carbon dioxide than the world average in 2018. And most of these transportation emissions came from cars. Burning of fossil fuels aside, imagine all the resources going into manufacturing all those cars, maintaining them, running them, building unique infrastructure around them, then maintaining that infrastructure, and of course, housing all those cars. And see, that's the problem here. The situation was not that problematic back in 1886 when Carl Benz first patented the motor car. And it was probably okay around about the time Ford blessed the world with automation in 1913. Because just a few years prior to that, in 1908, railways and streetcars dominated passenger mobility in Canada. And there were just 3,003 registered cars in their country. Today, there are single parking lots that can hold more cars than that, and the biggest one is in Canada. By the 1930s, cars had become common and railway and streetcar systems were being dismantled, just like in the US. Road traffic laws, the design of our cities, our social lives, behavior, activities, habits, ambitions, dreams, the very concept of freedom and the pursuit of happiness, North America's cultural identity was being forged in the assembly lines of Ford and Dodge and Chrysler. You see, the automotive industry didn't just have the region's labor force and manufacturing and urban planning in the palm of their hands. They'd also secured the tools powerful enough to shape people's desires. And it was all thanks to one thing. It's no coincidence that the rise of the automobile accompanied the birth of the TV and of advertising.
Fine. Yes, I'd love to. Thanks, Jean. I'll be there. 2 o'clock. Goodbye. You know, 3 weeks ago, I couldn't have accepted that invitation. Like so many people these days, we live in the suburbs, and Dave needs the car every day for business. When he was gone, I was practically a prisoner in my own home. I couldn't get out to see my friends, couldn't take part in PTA activities. I couldn't even shop when I wanted to. I had to wait till Thursday night after Dave brought the car home. But that's all changed now. 3 weeks ago, we bought another Ford, the new low-priced custom line Victoria. Isn't it stunning? Dave has it all to himself, and I now have the ranch wagon all to myself. It's a whole new way of life. Now I'm free to go anywhere, do anything, see anybody anytime I want to. It's only good common sense. Why be stuck with one expensive car when you can enjoy all the fun and freedom of 2 fine Fords?
Today, more and more families are finding out how easy it is to become 2 Ford families. You can choose from 20 different models, colors galore, and each available with Thunderbird power, with styling inspired by the famous Ford Thunderbird, and each with the extra protection of Ford's lifeguard design.
Indeed, why be stuck with one car when you can enjoy all the fun and freedom of 2 fine cars? And that was North America's solution to that weird feeling you would sometimes have in the middle of the suburbs in 1956, of being a prisoner in your own house. But this ad came out almost 70 years ago, you say. We've had a lot of progress since then. We put a man on the moon and the moon in our hands, and none of that crap in the commercial is gonna sell anymore. Car manufacturers know better. They're more aware and sensitive to gender stereotypes, and now they're marketing bolder, more aggressive, more gender ambiguous colors to women. Not this black and white film crap. But seriously though, we haven't actually progressed, and that's the problem. Metrolinx, the regional public transit agency responsible for commuter rail in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area, is one of North America's largest parking providers, and almost all of their 70,000 parking spots are free. Ontario taxpayers fund this system of free parking, whether they use that parking or not. The train itself, of course, is not free, and in fact it's expensive, especially if you're connecting to transit in other regions, such as Mississauga's transit network, for example. Parking having hidden costs is a common theme that we'll revisit again. For now, if you enjoy the classic North American taxpayer subsidized parking experience, come on down to Bloomington GO or Pickering GO station. Trains also run here, but they're clearly not the main attraction. And also, why would you take that expensively built, air-conditioned, premium quality train where you are free to do other stuff while gazing idyllically outside of the windows when you have
freedom.
you.